Okay, so by now you should have at least 3 different faces. If you want to try more, you can, if you're happy with that. That's the first one I did. That's the second one I did, but actually my favourite one is my third one. Okay? So what I want you to do is to choose the one that's your favourite. I'm going to tidy it up a little bit. I also want to do a little bit of design in the background. And I can do things, remember how we broke up the background in your paintings? Things like maybe following that curve there to make a shape. Maybe there a little bit more. Just so we have some stuff going on in the background as well. Okay? So that is the one I'm going to use. And I can use that to practice on a little bit later. But what I want you to do next is to get a bigger piece of paper, so it's this size of paper, and using a ruler, before you do anything else, is please don't use the dice now while I'm doing this, okay? Is to draw a border around. So all I'm doing is I've got that edge of the ruler on the edge of the paper. You'll understand why in a minute. Can you see that? See what I'm doing? So that edge of the ruler there, line across there. And often we will do this when we're doing artwork, even if you're doing paintings, you'll do a border. Because sometimes you may have noticed the edges of your paper or the corners of your paper get turned up and messy while you're working on things. So often when we do paintings or other work, we do a border and later we cut away the border. Okay? So if you've got that, I'm just doing that. And then what you can do in part of the border is write your name. Don't write Mr. W or Mr. Win, write your own name and 6JW. Okay? And then what you can do is copy your big one, okay? So it might be when you are copying that you decide you're going to make some things a little bit bigger and things a little bit smaller. Well, I'm going to have my eyes a little bit bigger, that side, make that one a bit bigger and a bit more angled. So I like the great big eyes, and I'm going to do that one like that. And I'm going to do my eyelashes like that. You see, just making them a little bit different. Got the nose going that way, and I've got a big mouth. So what I'm doing is making the features bigger than they are on the first one I did. Okay? And then the ears, I'm actually going to have the ears looking as if they're not fitting on the page completely. So that one there, and that one there. Now I don't know if that one's better or not really, and then I'm going to just do some lines in the background here. Okay? Now, some of you have used oil pastels before and some of you haven't. Now if you look at this example I've done quite a lot of, the idea is that we're going to work some oil pastels into the colour areas, and right at the end we're going to put some black lines over the top. Okay? But we're not going to use any black lines first. So you can see here lots of different types of blending going on. We've got pink here blending into white, we've got red there, and the other blends that are going on. So within the border you can practice. So what I'm going to do here is practice doing a blend maybe from yellow. So I'm going to try and blend upwards. So I'm going to make my edges a little bit jagged. Now I call that feathering, okay, because the edges look a bit, and the idea is that I'm going to blend that up to here, and I'm going to blend to red. Okay, So again, as you can see, if we were just trying to colour in solid areas, it would be a bit messy. Now, these are beautiful, brand new sets of oil pastels as well for you to use. So I can then get an orange, take that up there. And there's actually even a darker one here. And this is where it does get messy, so you will need a tissue or something. So what I'm going to do is start to do that. Okay? Now, my finger's a bit dirty, so I don't want to use the same finger, so I'm going to do that going that way. And you can see how I can start to make colours look as if they're blending together. Okay? So I'm going to practice on the side, and then in here, I'm going to decide I'm going to have to continue that mouth, that this mouth is going to start yellow up here. So I'm going to bring that oil pastel down here. And the other part of the mouth is going to be red. So again here, you can see when you put oil pastel on that if you don't do much blending, you see lots of white bits, don't you? You see lots of white patchy bits. So I'm going to do that, where I'm starting, the red's going that way. Don't know if anybody wears lipstick, but it's like applying lipstick. And then I'm going to use a different finger to start blending that yellow across. Okay? So I can actually just add a little bit of orange in the middle, because we all know that yellow and red makes what? Yeah, orange. Okay? So that we have a blended area in where that mouth should be. Okay? So again, continue that. Think about the colours that you're going to use. As I said, this is one that was started a little bit. You can see some of the blues being blended here. And then here you can see one that's almost finished. So lots of blending going from blue to white, and also from one colour to another. Here, it's quite interesting. We know that yellow and red makes orange, but we're going this way. Yellow and blue makes what? Green. So that's what we're planning to do. Okay? So, first thing to do, finish your 3 faces. If you want to try more practice ones, that's up to you. But then be ready then to start your big piece of paper, draw the border, and copy your favourite face onto the big piece of paper, and then you can start practicing with oil pastels. Okay, let's go to it.